Price is going to do what price is going to do. There is no form of horizontal line. There's no form of support, resistance, supply, demand. There's no form of chart pattern, price action pattern is going to stop it. All we have to do as traders is simply to follow price. Watch price at areas of interest, look out for the reactions, and of course, have your trigger ready to enter the market. Stop loss in place, risk management in place, trade management in place. If it's a winner, it's a winner. If it's a loss, then it's a loss. Accept it and then move on, right? Now, from yesterday and from previous videos, we've been looking at this USD index from the daily time frame perspective, and we've been keeping an eye on this area where it is now. And you can see price seems to want to push higher. But I will say this, but it hasn't fully broken out, even though it looks like it wants to. But we said something yesterday. Your price might play around this area. And of course, tomorrow, if you check the calendar, right, let's flip to the calendar real quick because that is also something that we need to be doing. Checking on the fundamentals, checking on the high impact news coming out. So tomorrow, Wednesday, if you have a closer look, you'll notice that we're going to have the FOMC for the US dollar. That means that the US dollar should be volatile tomorrow. That means that tomorrow we should have some strong moments in the market, right? But then keep an eye on your levels, keep an eye on your zones, keep an eye on your areas of interest and see how price reacts to it. As of now, price wants to break this, but we need patience. We need, to wait for more clues as to what's happening in this area, right? Price could still drop down, and of course, price could break out. Use this as a launching pad to push higher to 100.50 that we talked about earlier, which happens to be the highs of this year, 2026. And if you look to the left, you can see in the areas over here you can see some reactions over here based on support and of course resistance. So this is clearly a flip zone, right? Clearly a flip zone. Now, mind you, you remember we talked about the flippy indicator that we use that helps us to identify this nice clean areas of interest. For this USD index, I'm going to flip over to the hourly time frame. I love the hourly time frame a lot. It's in between scalping and of course in between position trading. 1 hour time frame is very conducive for me simply because I don't have to stay at the market. I can simply come and check on it maybe a few minutes to the end of that hourly candle, see what is forming and see what the story is like, and then I know whether I want to pay attention to it or not. So in a day, I might not check the chart more than 4 or 5 times or whatever the case might be, right? So this is the hourly time frame. As you can see, we have our indicator up and running, the flippy showing the levels blue and red. You see over here was a resistance and price is reacting to this area. You remember on the daily that we looked at now, price has this major area here, and that's why it's always good for you to look at the higher time frames because the higher time frames and the levels of the higher time frames will speak more volume than the lower time frame levels, right? So this is what price is doing here. I'm watching this closely. As a matter of fact, I tried a long position on this USD index, meaning that for Euro USD, I was looking for shorts, but then I didn't get it and would have made some nice pips moving into this area here. I'm going to show you what Euro USD is doing because it is slightly different from this USD index. Remember we said that the Euro USD and the USD index, they tend to move, in tangent. They tend to move very much alike. So you can see prices reacting as we're still talking. You can see that there's this reaction here showing that we have sellers present here, but are the sellers enough to push it down? That is the question. It might as well break out nicely. It breaks out nicely. I'll be looking for a pullback here to join the bullish move on this USD index, probably to about the 100.50 that we talked about. Or you might close your trade earlier if you are just scalping the level over here. So this is the USD index. I'm going to show you the Euro USD and why it is slightly different. You notice the USD index was battling with that area of resistance, But look at this Euro USD. Now it has clearly broken this area here of what? It has clearly broken this area here of of support rather. So this area should now act as resistance. So you could say this is a clue, right? But then I would always put the USD index before the Euro USD, meaning that I will look at what's happening to the USD index before I can judge Euro USD. But this is also a clue because it has broken this support area here. We should expect this to happen and then drop further down. The same thing might also happen on the USD index, but it might be slightly different. But let's pay close attention. As of this week, I haven't gotten any trade yet. I'm still patiently waiting for things to materialize. I'm still patiently waiting for things to come together before I pull the trigger. As I said, Euro USD, GBP USD, and the USD CHF are the three major currency pairs that I'm going to be focusing on, that I have been focusing on, and we are going to be focusing on this YouTube channel. Okay, so looking at what we have here on the Euro USD, I'm going to show you something now. Maybe the reason why this break is happening in this manner. I'm going to show you that based on the daily time frame. Let me switch this to Euro USD here. So look at the daily time frame, right? You can see it is running for this level, meaning that what? Something is attracting it to this level. You remember, look to your left, you have your areas here of like resistance, some support. You can see some areas of support, some areas of support, resistance. You would always see these key areas playing out, and this will be, good clues for you to know what should happen. There's always an attraction, like a magnetic pull of price, of orders. You hear traders say order flow, or this or that or whatever. It's all price going to an area based on history. In 1920, price did XYZ. So that means that in the year 1996, price should do XYZ or whatever the case might be, because you're using the history, right, to predict. We're analyzing, we're forecasting, we're using it to forecast what most likely might happen. So price should get to this area here on the daily time frame and maybe bounce. It could bounce higher, or it could even break. Use this as a fresh resistance or flip zone area and then drop further down. This might be the case to this area here. And don't forget, look to the left. You would always see that reaction. Most times you'd always see that reaction. And even if you don't see it, if it's empty space you see, then you can move to a higher time frame and you most likely see what's happening. Now, based on what we've talked about, let's go back to the USD index and do a quick summary and a quick recap as we'll be rounding up this video. So based on what's happening here, price seems to be breaking, but I'm going to wait for further clues. I'm not going to tell you it's time for buy, or it's time for sell, or whatever the case might be. I'm waiting for further clues. Let's see how things materialize. Tomorrow is high impact news for the FOMC, and it has always been volatile. Even though things have been changing, even the NFP has not been as volatile as decades, 10 years plus ago. But whatever the case might be, pay close attention. Let's also wait for the candle close and let's see how things unfold further. Don't forget, you don't have to be in a trade to call yourself a trader. Most times, traders wait more than placing trades. You wait for your trades, you get the trades, and you wait for the trade to play out. So it's a patient game. It's all psychology. Don't be, trigger happy. Learn to sit on your hands or fingers or whatever the case might be. And don't be in a rush to click buy, or sell, right? Let your strategy, let it lead the way so that you execute your trades accordingly and you manage them, your risk management, your trade management, according to what is playing out in front of you. Always good to keep a journal, accountability. You could get a mentor who would help you and show you the ropes. Things you didn't see can help you. Oh, you took this trade, this was what you missed, and so on. And trust me, put all of these things together. It's going to help for your psychology at the end of the day and your goal of being a profitable trader It's all about the profit or being a profitable trader based on your wins and your losses. A profitable trader at the end of the day is what everybody is after. With that said, I want to say thank you guys. See you on the next one. If you have any questions, do let me know. If you need any assistance whatsoever, let me know and we'll see what we can do for you. Okay, guys, trade safely and goodbye for now.